We're watching Supernatural. Let's get to it, motherfuckers.
Batman voice.
What? Love this show. I hope they keep it primarily white for people who travel all across the states.
Yeah,
All
all,
they
all
encounter
blonde white.
occasional black person.
Hey, they have a black friend who we met one time.
Yeah, they have. They've seen a couple black people in the show. What's this episode called? BloodLust. More vampires? Werewolves. It's a werewolf?
Nah, it's got to be something more clever than that.
It's called BloodLust. This feels like a werewolf episode.
Yeah, it does with the moonshot.
Yeah.
The classic,
It's not a werewolf, never mind.
classic horror movie, Gigantic Moon.
My werewolf comes out when it's a full sun.
Only once a month do you get a full sun. Good use of tree.
You dead bitch.
He's fucking with you.
You're brunette. Brunettes die.
Yeah. Blondes live till close to the end.
Whoa! They cut off her head.
That was a great fall, too. The legs up. And
Oh, man.
I always forget
They-
this is network TV.
They had to get past the censorship board by being far away.
Yeah.
Well, real music.
Unlike that fake music
And
from
the-
season 1.
That royalty-free shit or whatever.
Although, I mean, I'm sure those bands appreciated the licensing rate.
It does make a different vibe to have,
Stuff you recognize.
especially since Dean is so band-centric.
Yeah. It's such a man's man. Like,
They're like reintroducing the show. What the hell's going on here? Oh, it's gonna get the car back.
took me a second.
Because of Dad, remember? It's always that.
It'll take us 15 minutes.
Sterling K. Brown.
Ooh. This will be fun. Amber Benson. Holy shit.
I don't know who that is. Ty Holton.
Amber Benson was on Buffy.
I gotta turn off the subtitles here.
How am we going to understand it?
That's not real. Never happens.
I like this guy. Weekly World News. All that they used are real.
God, they are suited up.
We only got a minute.
Reverse pentacle.
Yeah.
He meant fucked.
When it's right side up, it's Wiccan about the elements, and when it's upside down, it's Satan.
Yeah.
Oh. That doctor's office must be across the hospital.
Oh!
Whoa.
He's hunting them.
Interesting.
The vampire sucks.
Yeah.
Ah, get it? No, the vampire is terrible.
Not to be confused with the classic spoof movie, Vampires Suck.
How did the vampire just get caught by that guy? I'm glad they're bringing the vampire back because remember when I had complaints about how they handled it. And
Yeah. Second chances.
True Blood.
This bar serves one kind of beer.
That's not a cat. That's not subtle. Sterling,
Yes.
young Sterling.
We'll take these beers to go.
It's always weird when you see them some like decade ago.
I
You're
know.
like, oh shit, they've been having to work for a while before they became famous.
They had to climb the ladder, didn't
You
they?
know, it's always easy to go like, oh man, they just like shot to fame.
Yeah. God, he is not aged a day.
He looks a little younger.
A little bit.
This is like 13 years old or something.
I wonder if they know he's following.
Just when I was saying there's no black people in this show, or not enough,
You got like a
I got the black guy.
yeah, or at least right now, yeah.
It's funny, this music sounds like The Predator.
I know. He's gonna be that same character. Fuck yeah. Whoa! Yeah.
Ah. How they?
News travels fast in this community.
A thing.
Ooh.
A what?
A chupacabra. They literally translates into goat sucker. I like how all the hunters drive cool cars.
You got it, man. You're gonna be on the road.
Yeah.
They didn't have Priuses yet.
No. Hunters now, yeah.
Supernatural season 6. They'll have. I'll be driving Prius.
Yeah. And then season 15, they'll have like a Tesla or some shit. Ooh. Too many wires adds instant character to a room.
Vampire hunters make money. You must have to do like immoral things to make money in order to do the moral high thing of killing vampires.
Pretty much. Like credit card fraud and shit.
Yeah. See a fang?
It's one of my favorite things about horror shows and stuff is like the lingo.
What do we call them? Just call them vampires.
Walkers, biters.
Vamps. Yeah.
Zombonis. Whoa! Got me.
Fucking jump scare cats, man.
Whoa! Uh-oh. SKB is gonna need some HELP. Ah!
Ooh, this is a terrible place to get into a fight.
Is this like a lumber processing plant?
Oh, he's gonna get turned into a vampire. Ooh.
Oh, snap. They arrived just in time. Blade his head off.
He did that without flinching. And really a light amount of blood, too. He is the guy from Predator. Dean's the one with the bloodlust.
Uh-oh. Dean, that's how he's gonna cope with John's death, is by just killing. Aw, she didn't even get to have her face in the shot. Oh. Sam's not about it. Like,
Yeah, but it looks human, you know?
Was it?
It looks human.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was once human.
That's why I was like surprised he didn't flinch.
Yeah. Run into a hot chick along the way who turns out to be a vampire. I want to make my show where nobody catches keys when they're
Or catch keys in a realistic way. In movies, it's always.
Everyone's cool who can catch keys.
He's the Black Dean.
Dude.
Is he talking about killing a vampire, though?
I think so.
But he does not. Talk about it later. I was 8 years old.
I grew up very fast.
Blonde waitress.
Still, we haven't seen her face. Pretty much over it now.
Thanos. No, I think Sam knows.
Yeah.
Oof. Oh, shit.
Interesting.
What happened?
I think she's basically saying to leave this guy alone.
Oh, really?
Yeah. How would you like a new brother?
Oh, he's fantasizing now.
What he doesn't realize is he needs Sammy to keep him human. He needs his yang.
For the people streaming along, I'm sorry if I slightly fucked up the stream along here. I hit a wrong button.
So it's only a couple seconds, right?
Hopefully you can readjust it.
Let's just stop this take all the way back. I was the cameraman. Adobe Court.
Just paranoid thinking vampires.
Ah!
What the fuck were these guys?
Ah! Oh, bad. Whoa.
This episode does not have well-directed action.
Not especially. It's all a bit muddy and dark.
White people.
Oh, is that the bartender?
It is?
Is it? Oh! Oh!
So I guess these vampires don't need to be invited into your motel.
Yeah, I guess that rule isn't a rule. Glenn?
Huh?
Did you call him Glenn?
Eli.
Oh, Eli. Amber Benson.
Oh, she's the witch.
She's Tara, yeah. Ah, okay.
Just like Edward Cullen's family.
Exactly like Edward Cullen's family. Stephanie Meyer must have been a supernatural fan.
Did you see the cannibal? Where'd they take him? They just did it at his hotel room.
His random ass house. I know, at a certain point.
They were just gonna have a 2-minute, 5-minute conversation. Get a
Long drive for that. Got its own whole like traveling shot to illustrate how far they went.
trust black people.
The light and the dark side. It's like odd casting that way, I guess. You could view it that way.
This is not going to go well after the conversation he just had with Sterling K. Brown.
Nope. Can't think black and white, dog.
You barely know Gordon.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oof.
Oh!
Gonna leave a hole in his face. Just like Dad. Oh, what a dick. Cool.
Yeah. I did something smart. What?
That's probably the most ideal way to do it. If you actually, if you are kidnapped and you can't do anything,
Yeah.
just count. Yeah.
Remember that.
Remember that next time I'm kidnapped.
If that ever happens.
I can never tell the cops where I was. It was 2.5 hours away.
I counted.
I counted for 2.5 hours.
Can't stop counting now.
Outgunned.
We're all looking at each other the same way. You could change. Before sunrise.
Probably the best time to leave.
Just
Based off
given
of
what you are.
Circumstances.
I feel like you ought to leave right at dusk.
For now, it's probably the best time to go, honestly.
Yeah. You should have already been
Probably
on the road.
be on the road. The themes of this episode are not thinking black and white and holes.
Yeah.
Been on the road for 8.5 minutes.
Ooh. Aw. Vampire moving box.
What's in there?
Sorry. Ooh. Aww.
We were all excited that they were both in this episode.
I know.
So you got Sam and Dean, the white guys, the vampires who are good guys. But this black guy, the
Yeah. Great actor, but interesting choice of casting. I wonder if how they auditioned that.
He's really torturing her. That's cool lore. Or world. Dead man's blood makes him sick.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
This is brutal.
cruel. Of course you are.
Oh, that's...
Oof.
Makes a compelling argument here. Hold on. What are you doing? Well, if you intentionally feed her human blood. Oh, he's gonna fuck up. Dean's gonna shoot him.
Something's gonna happen, yeah. Do you ever consider cognitive therapy? Oh, you brought a knife to a gunfight.
Fist fight. Oh, sneaky son of a bitch.
Ta, dick.
That's a great reaction.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, look at him.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ah. I'm not a torturer. Whoa. Whoa. Oh. Ow. Damn. Because there's gray.
I hope he comes back in a few episodes. It's just a really kind change.
Yeah.
It's a totally different dude.
Really eye-opening experience.
He is disturbed. Why do you do that?
You know, to re-solidify his status as a badass. It's a big jacket. Aww.
Yeah, it was evident.
Yeah. This is a turning point.
You're the supporting character now.
Yes. Hope you enjoyed your first season, because it's my turn.
Nielsen ratings had reported that they preferred me.
Yeah.
Bam. I get why I was back in black now, because they got the car back and it's black.
Yeah. Hey, good call there.
Took me a whole episode to finally realize that.
It's a good bookend, though. That's why. Start and end on the car.
Children shouldn't play with dead. That's an interesting next episode.
With dead things. That's a movie title. Children shouldn't play with dead things. I've never seen it.
Well, that was a significantly better vampire episode.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Than the last one. I like how they're slowly building up this vampire world in here. Before you know it, this whole show is just going to be a vampire show.
Yeah. It's going to be reverse True Blood. Where it's going to be like a whole bunch of magical things at first, but then only vampires after a while.
Because, it's not like a monster of the week with the vampires. This is like it's a reoccurring thing they're exploring here within the world of supernatural. Because I find that interesting. That's why I was like, when I hear bloodlust, my mind goes to vampires. That's what I think of. But I'm like, nah, I already did that. The monster of the week thing with the vampires, they already did that. So then to see it here, they're bringing it back and they're even expanding upon it. They still don't do like, we'll kill. Like, it's still another expansion of it. So I find it very interesting how they're really doing a pure expansion on this. Not just okay, wait a minute. So there are hunters like Sam and Dean. And then are there just vampire hunters, or do the hunters also encompass that? Because that's where I'm a little bit confused.
I feel like there are probably hunters that specialize in vampires, but I feel like if you're a hunter of vampires, you're probably aware that there are tons of supernatural things around to be hunted.
It just seems like that with the first episode of The Vampires, the one who John Winchester was friends with, who died at the beginning with the cult.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Father Billy or whatever.
And then Sterling K. Brown's character here, they just seem like all they do is vampires.
Yeah, a little bit. And I would be curious if there's like a faction of just vampire guys or whatever, because like that's part of the fun too about this is kind of learning the little expansions they do on the hunter community overall.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, that's a detail that right now I can only really muse on, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sterling K. Brown's character's whole thing was just vampires or something like that, you know? Well, especially because he had that really personal motivation with his sister and all that.
His character felt like, I get the impression, it's kind of a Breaking Bad thing for me, what they did with Jesse Pinkman. They probably had a good role written, and they hired a guy, but I just really felt like they really loved what he did with the role, that they put even more focus on him with the camera, and they kept him alive because they want to bring him back. Like, it really felt like, based off of how the Supernatural show has gone, and knowing just how TV in general works with the creators and showrunners, I feel like they found an actor here. Because I'm like, man, they really, for a new character, they're really letting the camera linger a lot on him. They're really letting him, it's not like a bunch of editing. They're just letting him do his thing, and they're letting him be explored. And it's not common with this show for a guest star. Normally, it's a guest star who gets a chance to shine or whatever, and they're usually
give
good.
Some information to Sam and Dean.
But this episode specifically, I could really feel that I could feel the crew being like, man, this guy's so good.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
so good.
Don't worry, season 16, he's gonna come back. They're gonna announce it.
I mean, it's an interesting viewing experience with seeing Sterling K. Brown here, especially not knowing he was in this episode, so we saw his name flash at the beginning. But it's like we've all seen Sterling K. Brown in so many things now.
Yeah, exactly.
He's so famous now, and then to go to this episode that's like over a decade ago and watch him here. Of course, you have to get past the whole. That's Sterling K. Brown. That's Sterling K. Brown,
I've seen him a bunch lately.
That's Sterling K. Brown here in Supernatural,
13 years ago or more,
It was kind of how I felt with Jeffrey Dean Morgan at first.
Yeah.
Of like, that's Jeffrey Dean Morgan. That's
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Negan looks much younger and like a dad.
Yeah, because it did take me a while to readjust to that. But here, like after, especially with the later scenes, not, like him having fun and fucking vampires, right? Those scenes. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, he's doing good. I can see, that's young Sterling K. Brown. But then as it keeps going, you're like, okay, yeah, this is the depth of Sterling.
Yeah. These are the chops he showed up to the episode with.
Yeah, this is the 3-dimensional character where now we get to really see. So I thought it was cool. I'm happy they kept him alive because I don't know if he comes back. I'm assuming he comes back. If they're going to keep him alive like that.
Yeah, for
he
sure.
has to, because I feel like in any other actor, they probably just would have had. I just get this. I want to look it up, but I'm afraid to look it up because I'm afraid they're going to tell me about the character. Yeah, because I have to look. Because that's how it was with Jesse Pinkman in Breaking Bad. It was only supposed to be a couple episodes, but they loved him so much that now the movie's going to be based off of it.
Yeah.
And same thing with Better Call Saul. Like that was just like, oh my god, we love this guy, and that's how it goes with a lot of shows. And so I just really feel that with it. And if you guys happen to know, if you're already a big Supernatural, I don't know if I'm just making a big guess and we spent the last 5 minutes talking about that, but if you happen to know if that's the case, that would be cool if you could leave it in the comments.
Just leave that little tidbit. Well, I like the way that they took this as an opportunity to talk about, like instead of making the point of the episode, like, oh, we got to exterminate these vampires, I like that moral dilemma they brought up with it because, I don't know, it stands to reason at some point you would come across a coven of vampires trying to be better. And, it was a little on the nose in the dialogue about the whole, like, world's black and white, man. But I like that they brought that into this and they used they put Dean in the middle and then you have, Sam's light side and Sterling K. Brown's darker side, kind of grappling for him over this episode. And I like the ending note, too, of, like, what if we've killed some things that didn't deserve it, And I just like having that nuance added to, and I hope that they keep that involved moving forward. Like, this kind of made me think, oh, maybe in a future episode, not that I want every episode to be this way, but maybe they'll have to, like, help some supernatural thing, complete its unfinished business or to be freed in some way, Kind of like they did here.
This is I like vampire genre is one of my favorite genres, and I prefer this kind of world exploration with them. I'm still not a fan of how the vampires themselves are written. Even here, I'm not. It's very vampire.
They're written like vampires. Yeah. Like vampires are based on just people.
Because I do like the concept. Like to me, I found it a little jarring when because there's two moments I really liked here. One I found jarring of when Dean kills the vampire, because in my mind, when it comes to the exploration of vampires specifically, I'm like, sure, they have fangs, and maybe they're. If it's not something like From Dusk Till Dawn where their face just fucking morphs, then I'm like, okay, I get that.
Yeah.
But when I'm like, they pretty much look like humans, I imagine that's a very grotesque thing to do, and it must be subconsciously, psychologically, like a fuck up to be like, I'm murdering a fucking human right now.
That's the closest you get to just regular murder.
Yeah, so I liked when Dean did, because at first I thought that's kind of weird how Dean's not fazed by this. But I liked how Sam was like, dude, what's wrong with you?
I'm not down to do shots right now. Like, we just killed a guy.
Yeah, exactly. And then the torture scene when
the dead man's blood.
Yeah, I like that moment too, because that really shows the humanity side. I think that's why vampires out of all the monsters is the one I've always been drawn to, because there's a. What are them when the way they're fucking written in this show so far, which is very vampire, I like the vampire elements when you can see that. Well, they're actually just unfortunate humans.
And as much as part of that involves just feeding on human blood and orgies and stuff. It's it's also kind of, I would imagine, sad and languishing to be a vampire, because you're just this immortal who has to live by night and feed on people and be at odds with the world every moment you're alive.
Yeah.
So in a way, it seems like a very lonely life in a sense. And it makes you, like, I did like at least some of the character notes that, like, Amber Benson brought to this, because I thought she was, at least in demeanor, kind of different from what I'm used to. I feel like the vampires are often, like, you know, they always got a slight grin on their face and they're enjoying kind of being.
Well, I feel like she brought that. I don't feel like the writing brought that.
Yeah, no, I thought she did a good job with that.
Yeah.
Because her demeanor just felt different than the demeanor of the other vampires around that we've seen on the show so far. Even her buddy, like I bought that he was with her, but you know, she seemed like the core of the benevolence of these vampires. You know.
Well, I like that scene too, where the blood's dripping right on her face, and she's subconsciously reacting, and she has to fight against the urge.
Yeah.
To show that, you know. So I thought this was to me, this was just so much better than the other one. And the character of Sterling K. Brown I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
The expansion of it, and you know, the more Dean focused episodes are the better ones. Those are always the more compelling ones to me.
Whenever they get Dean some character development or some character conflict going on, yeah, for sure.
And
because we already know Sam as a heart, and all that stuff.
When Sam has to be the supporting heart, that's when I think Sam is the most compelling. Mm-hmm. That's when I find Sam the most engaging.
Yeah.
But when you get like an episode like this with Dean, you know, and I also like that I feel like the characters are just way more established. You know, when Dean's like, I put on a face, you know, I got to keep it around Sammy, and we're both like, well, we know Sam.
He doesn't need that.
Sam can totally.
That's for you.
And then
man.
Sam just acknowledges, like, I can see past that.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Well, I love that moment where he slugs, like the way that moment played out when he punches him straight up in the face, and he's like, you can hit me all day, man, but I see you. Don't think I don't see you. Yeah. Good shit.
This is a really well done episode. This is really it weirdly made me wish that I was watching a vampire show now.
Hey man, I gotta imagine they'll be back, and hey, maybe
they're going to be, yeah, for sure.
But I would guess that maybe because Amber Benson, even at this time, would have been reasonably profiled for this kind of thing. Maybe they would bring her back specifically.
And this was on the CW at the time, which was what Warner Brothers Television converted to.
Yes,
and Buffy was on Warner Brothers, so that makes sense. Actually, there's been quite a few people who have. From my understanding, I don't know the characters they specifically play, but there are people who were on Buffy who have reoccurred on here too.
Oh, I bet there are folks who are like, "Oh, good, another one of those." Because that's kind of what we get hired for.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching along.